Hey.
You look beautiful, girl.
Thank you. So do you.
Good. Well, I didn't talk about you enough. So let me give you a moment for the people that don't know you. I know a few, actually a lot do. But introduce yourself. Um, Tell me about your channel, and let's go from here. Let's try to figure this thing out.
Okay. Well, my name is ZZ. I'm a comedic social commentator. I also do modeling and hosting. I like acting and things of that nature. But yeah, most of my content is primarily based around social and racial issues pertaining to Black Americans. So yeah, we'd be one over here.
Right. I know I was on your channel on Sunday, and we kind of talked about that. And I've always been, and I think people are now understanding, that I'm very for Black families. I've always said that from the beginning of time. And for Black families to be together, I honestly believe that we have to get our Black women and our Black men together. And the reason why I brought you on here is because I can't do anything but control me as a woman, and you're a woman. So, if we're getting ourselves together, let's talk about women, and let's talk about how we can be better, how we can tell our sisters, how to be better for the Black man, what it's going to take on our part. And then, the men hopefully will also tell the men on what they need to do on their part.
Yeah. You shouted out the manosphere. So yeah, a lot of them are already doing that.
Yeah. Oh, they are. And, and I see it and I appreciate it. And I appreciate balance because balance is important. We have to be, like women, y'all are doing some effed up stuff. Okay. And we can talk about it, but let's not just keep that narrative. Let's look as a whole because it's going to take us as a whole to get together. And I don't want it to how it was back in the day where we just blamed the Black man and then the women got off scot-free. And so therefore it made it easier for us to say, niggas ain't shit. And, it made it easier because that was the whole narrative. And I don't want history to repeat itself where it's, too short. Bitches ain't shit. I don't want it to become that narrative either. I want to take the narrative of the stereotypical angry Black woman and the feminine or thug Black man. I want to take those stereotypes away what media shows, and for us to realize that we are good. There are good women. Yeah. They're amazing men. Let's kind of focus on that a little bit. And I don't know if that's a fantasy world that I'm living in, but I definitely don't believe all women are bad. And I definitely don't believe all men are bad.
Definitely not. We can have a balance. We can hold each other accountable without the bashing and, going at it at no end, Yeah. So yeah, we can have a balance for sure.
I agree. So let me ask you on your platform, because you've been doing this for a while. Do you see that the women that are chiming in to you, do you see them like, you know what? We have been doing some stuff. We do need to change. Izzy, what are we going to do? Like, do you see women trying to hold themselves accountable to maybe to the mistakes that we've made?
Yeah, well, on one hand, I do have a predominantly male audience, for the most part, on really all my platforms. But the women that I do have, what I'm saying? It's because the way I deliver things can be a little extreme or a little blunt, little, straight to the point, even a little masculine, what I'm saying? So sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow. It may be the truth, but it's a hard pill to swallow, okay? So I do, of course, get the women that's going against, you're a pick-me, this is that, But, those who really support me, like those who've been supporting me for a minute, like they be on it, even the stuff that they post is, similar to what I post. And this goes for like social influencers who are like me, even just, people on the grassroots level just reposting things of that nature. So I do see Black women who are trying actively, to hold themselves accountable and listen to Black men and, correct themselves on that level. Yeah.
Because I would even say this, like you sent me a list of, women, because I know I told you, I was like, well, where are the Black women that are having platforms that believe in, wanting to be with a Black man and, try to cut the narrative that Black women are just feminist and we don't support. And you sent me about 15 women that are and these are beautiful Black women, natural Black women that are saying, hey, we here. I know, you might not hear us or maybe don't want to hear us right now, but we are here and we are wanting, to be with you and want to love you and cater.
Yeah, shout out to them sisters. Erica Lachey, Goddess Yana, Sarah Lena, Conservative K. We love them. We love to see it.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. I do want to. I saw like a clip of this gentleman who his page is really dope, and this was taken about 3 years ago. So I want to play it. I'm going to play a couple from him. Which I kind of found was interesting, and I think kind of sums up a lot about how men have been feeling. And just try to get your take on it. So let me find it. Okay. Go from here. All right, so let's see.
When Black women have the most power to attract a man, they reject him. Unless he, he's fine, or, sometimes unless he got a certain complexion, and that could be the chocolate complexion or light complexion. You get brothers rejected because, their haircut ain't on point, or they don't have swag, or they don't look like they have money yet, right? And you only have a few brothers in there, and Black women not thinking about how they rejected them. Like I've talked with many Black men over the years, and they'll talk about how viciously they were rejected just for saying hi. Just for saying hi, just for being friendly or played or something. And I've heard Black women actually brag about how they rejected some dude, or, get out of there, like, get out of my face, or, some bullshit like that, right? All right. That's cool. But if a brother could get it several times, after a while, he'll say, wow, dude, should I really mess with this type of woman? Apparently, I'm not making it here. So what they do? They start checking out some other women. They start checking out Becky and Maylene and Juanita. Because at least they being friendly to him, or at least if they're going to reject him, they ain't going to be mean about it.
So pretty much it was about men feeling rejected. About them feeling rejected by Black women, and them feeling not rejected by Maylene. And again, this is starting off of, how did we get here where we're having to ask for forgiveness? Well, it's a whole lot of reasons why, but I think that men feel rejected by us, and for a long time.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree. Absolutely. I've spoken about this a few times. Our mouths it can be vicious. We can tear a brother down really with our mouths, honestly, and we can not even know him and just go off. I've seen it firsthand, and I've heard personally brothers tell me, what I'm saying, like I almost had to, because this girl didn't know what to say out of her mouth, and it's over simple things. Kevin Samuels, we was mentioning him. Of course, the whole smile thing, that was a whole thing for a minute. Brothers can tell sisters how to smile, which is something we should naturally be doing, so this is basic communication skills, and that's really one of the fundamental problems that we have in our relationships and in general as a people, is our communication skills, but especially with Black women. We haven't been taught, and we haven't seen that healthy relationship, and this stems from, of course, we got to bring it back to Black women. We saw our mothers speak to our brothers like this. We saw our brothers speak to our fathers like this. Your daddy ain't shit. Oh, you act just like your father. You did it. Get the fuck out. So we see this and we replicate it, and then we become more and more and more desensitized to it throughout the generations. And now we're at a point where it's like, we're like, what are you talking about? Some Black women are like, what are you talking about? I mean, Black women, I've seen personally Black women who have done some disrespectful things, and I might say something like, yeah, well, you sometimes you be tripping. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't be speaking. I'm like, so that you really think that dude called you that because of no reason? You really think he called you out your name just because he was mad? That was it? Well, nah, because he said this, you know, and then it gets into a whole rack of pointing the finger, you know, except for at yourself. So we do have to hold each other accountable when it comes to communicating with each other. That's basic skill we should have. That's basic respect we should have for each other, especially for our men, is knowing how to speak to them, especially in public spaces. That's not a good look for us as a people, for people to see us, seeing you talk to your brother like that, seeing you talk to your man, your son. Like, that's a problem. That is a problem. You don't do that. You keep that at home, but it shouldn't even be at home, to be honest. We should be taught that from the... It's a problem. It's a problem. Yes.